my dial days where they're hanging up on me, and in the middle of a sentence they hang up, and I'm like, oh, like let me call you back, but no, you can't. You just gotta keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean, so did it used to bother you when people hang up on you, or
no,
it never
it's
bothered
just
you?
the only pet peeve is when they hang up mid sentence. You know, it's like a nice no thank you would be nice, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen.
So just wanted to thank you guys all for joining us here on the Elite Sales Podcast. I have my very special guest. I got Flor Gomez.
Yes.
You know, she works with Zach and Evelyn, you know, Juarez, you know, their pastors, and obviously the vice president of FFL Paragon. You know, I'm very blessed to have them as my business partners. Representing. So always great to have, and it's great to have you because I haven't really had a chance to, you know, we've got a chance to speak a little bit. Mm-hmm. But, you know, because they do such a tremendous job of just running their team. And, you know, that's one of the things that you really want to hope for in business, to have partners that, you know, they're leaders that already, you kind of just like let them do their thing and just stay out their way. And that's one of the things that, and obviously the biggest thing is I still try to be available for them whenever they need, but, you know, they don't really need that much. I've never had to teach Evelyn how to sell. Total beast. I've never had to teach Zach how to lead a team, you know, so because, you know, obviously he runs a church and they run church together. And, you know, so I mean, it's one of those things. If you want to be able to acquire business partners, people that know what they want and just, you know, be available for them. And, you know, I was watching a basketball game, and they said your best ability is actually availability. Right. So they're just to be available for other people when they need it, for your teammates, and just to be a good teammate in general. Yeah. But, you know, we're happy to have you so we can get a chance to hear a little bit more from you today. So before we get into that, I wanted to have Eunice. Are you on here?
Yes, Albert.
What's going on, Eunice? Eunice in Maryland, Girani. All right. So first of all, I just want to have you guys on, and we're going to have Sean Curtis and we're going to have Elias come on in just a second as well. But, you know, you guys have all decided to do something special for the month of April, since this is a 5-week month. You know, you guys have obviously all been doing really well. You guys issue paid 30,000 plus in a month. And, you know, it's the thing is you're kind of just getting started here with that. So we know that you guys have a lot higher to go, because it's all about leads, it's all about activity, which you guys have put in for that part. But tell us, what's your goal for the month of April?
115.
115?
Correct.
Okay. All right. 115,000 is your goal for the month of April. That's issue paid business. So that's not submit, it's issue paid business, meaning correct. That actually goes into force. That means the clients have actually got their coverage, meaning you as the agent, you've actually gotten paid. Is $115,000, okay, of issue paid production. So before we go on and ask you a little bit more, Sean or Elias, are you guys on?
Yeah, I'm on.
All right, so we'll start with Elias here. We'll get to Sean in just a second. So the gauntlet has been thrown down. What's your issue paid goal for the month of April?
Yeah, I guess Andrew put out that $100,000. So let's get uncomfortable. Let's do it.
All right.
I've got a bunch. I think we finished this. I worked half the month, so we submitted 40,000, issued 122. I got like another 20 for next week. So might as well just do some travel trips, hit the road, and get uncomfortable. If Eunice is going to do it, if you guys are going to do it, I can't not.
Yep. I mean, you've been on fire lately, so there's no question whether or not you can do it, because you've submitted like 20,000 in a week. So
I started working.
I'm sorry.
I said I started working.
Simple as that, right? That's the secret, guys. If you guys have not figured it out, you just got to go to work. And then Sean Curtis, are you on with us, my man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. Where are you joining us from?
Man, I'm in Atlanta right now. I'm on the East Coast. I'm actually trying to work my way up to Jersey, man. Trying to get my way up there. It's business everywhere. That's the funny thing. It's like no matter where you go, there's always a client that needs some form of insurance, some form of coverage. But long story short, I know travel trips are definitely in the works. I was set to go to be in Jersey today, April 1st, but something came up. Some personal things came up. Long story short, as opposed to just trying to like, gun ho it and just try to swing it to the air, I said, hey, it might as well just stay local, keep my head focused, continue to buy more leads. I see myself getting up to Jersey maybe by Monday, Tuesday, and then we're just gonna go all out from there. Like literally no sleep.
Yep.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's a really cool thing too. You started in Georgia, and then you came out to Northern California for a bit because you're taking care of some personal stuff. But when
Right.
you came out for some personal stuff, you were still running business and buying leads and running appointments up there. Then you went back to Atlanta. Now you're thinking about going up to Jersey for work. So how are you able to do all that? How are you able to work in all these different states and different counties and cities?
Just hunger, motivation, simple enough. Nope, it's the business is simple. I'll be honest, FFL does all the work. Thanks to FFL, I'm able just to pick up the phone, buy some leads, start calling, repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So that's just the fun part, man. It's that, I'm very grateful to be in this position. Most people I know are not flying around and, doing that, nowhere near that, right? So I'm definitely very grateful to be in this position. I just want to continue to work hard. Like I said, this month is so as it pertains to April. I'm hungry, but man, the 100,000, I'm like nervous almost. I'm like, oh man, I've never done this before. So I say this to say, I don't know if anyone's out there is feeling this, or maybe they wanted to step up to the challenge, or maybe they decided not to this month or go for it for next month. But I just wanted to kind of step out there and be one of the leaders on the team. So I spoke into existence. I definitely see myself crashing 100,000 within April. With that being said, man, I'm just excited, man. I'm just grateful, very happy. So how do you do it? Just keep working, man. Pick up the phones, right? So thanks to FFL.
I love the energy. So yeah, I mean, so the thing that you touched on with our lead platform here at Family First Life, you can get leads anywhere. All you gotta do is get your non-resident license if you don't have it already. You can go to virtually any state, buy your leads, go run appointments. We got Jesus is over in Philly right now. So
Correct,
he's out there, just bought some leads because there's a bunch of leads. He went on the heat map, CRMs, bought a bunch, went out there. So we all have the same opportunity. And just to formalize it before we get back to Eunice here, how much are you writing for the month of April there, Sean?
I'm gonna go 105.
105.
I like that.
105. I like that.
I like that.
Okay. All right.
So,
So I mean, yeah, and that's something obviously you can do, and I'm excited. So for all of you guys out there that are listening to this, Eunice, Elias, and Sean have all taken on the challenge for the month of April to not write, but issue pay 100,000 plus of issue paid premium, which means they're going to protect a lot of families. They're going to meet a lot of great people. They might meet some not so great people, but that's part of life anyway. So you can't really avoid that. But they're going to be full of really enriching experiences and have an opportunity to go help as many people as they can. Obviously we can't help everybody, and that's fine. That's just how things go. But they're going to go for 100,000. And then when they write 100,000 or the issue pay 100,000 for the month, they get a $5,000 bonus from Andrew Taylor. So that's something that he's put out there. So make sure that all of you guys, if you guys haven't done so, make sure you post on social media. I love it, Sean. I love the reaction. So Andrew Taylor's going to give them a $5,000 bonus, and I'm actually going to match that. And I'm going to give them each a $5,000 bonus when you guys hit that as well. So, take our money. It's something that we're just really excited, because if you guys do that, that's going to change not just your life, but a lot of people around you, that change their lives. Just think about how many people they're going to really believe this opportunity, just seeing you guys going out there, just putting in the grind and just going after it. And then when you should pay 100,000. I mean, no one can ever take that away from you guys. So I'm excited for all of you guys. So let's go back to Eunice for a sec. Eunice in Maryland.
Yes.
All right. So how do you guys anticipate doing this for the month? What do you guys need to do? What do you guys need to change?
Well, it's just like Sean said, it's going to require a lot of work. It's going to require a lot of patience. The hard work part of it, which is when it comes down to all the other things, it's already have given to us by you, by FFL, by John, by Derek, by everybody in the team, by everybody in here at the Zoom call. I'm 100% sure if I have any questions and I cannot reach out Albert, which is impossible, because every time he answers the phone, or John or anybody else, definitely I'm going to get the answer from somebody else. but it looks impossible until it's done. You know, it's looked so hard to make it happen until somebody did it, and we don't have anything to lose, so you can't lose literally. So if we hit 100,000, it's going to become normal. So everybody else in the team going to start hitting 100,000, and it's just FFL Elite going to just basically take over. That's just the way how I'm thinking about it. Like if I have 1 month with FFL, me and my wife, and we issue paid $100,000 or 115,000, that means it's possible. It's not impossible anymore, right? And if Nina have thought about it, that means it's possible. So we're taking it, you know. Like earlier, I had a call with Tasha, and we were talking, me and her, and they told her, I said, you know what's really gonna bother me? It's not hitting $100,000. That's gonna really bother me because I'm gonna let myself down first, and I'm gonna let everybody else in the team let down. But I do believe that we can't make it happen without travel trips. You know, it's that seems to be hard to do it just in Dallas or even in Texas. So we are, planning. I have a lot of things right here planning on travel trips. I already contacted NIPR to get to different states and all that, and just buy as many leads as we can. You know, already have invested what 3,500, 3,700 for the past 2 days on leads, just buying everything I could. You know, if I don't sell them right away, that's fine. I'm pretty sure I'm going to sell them in a week or two. Like you have said, it's all about timing. And
Right.
I think April going to be the best birthday gift for me. It's just if I'm going to put, the name of Elite up there on the board, then be like, okay, there is 3 guys from FFL Elite hit 100,000. What those people are doing that everybody else in FFL is not doing. So that's how I think about it.
Right.
I
So
like that.
what day is your birthday for the month of April?
Oh, like Jesus, April the 19th.
All right. So it's going to be a very memorable birthday, probably your best one to date.
Yeah,
Right.
yes,
All right.
definitely.
Yeah.
But that's basically how I think about it.
Okay. Well, you guys can go and enjoy and spend whatever whatever you want this year. And then you and Marilyn work together as a team here. So how does the responsibilities break up?
Well,
I-
for me, for me,
I'm grateful. Let me put it this way.
well, for me, he said we have to be patient. Okay, it's not that I'm not patient. For me, the word patient means relaxing. I'm not a relaxed person. I have to be. I'm activity. I like the activity. I push a lot. And sometimes I get him crazy and say, Eunice, please, let's go again. Let's do this again. The same thing, it doesn't matter. It's okay. We already finished the phone call, but let's call these people again. And you know what? Today, he saw one with an old lead. And I'm like, oh, really? You see, I told you. So
Well, you
pushing,
get somebody who wake up at 5:30 in the morning and is like, hey, are you awake? Let's go. I'm like, what? Say 100,000. You promised Albert and everybody 100,000. Come on, let's go. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes, I keep reminding him, hey,
But it's good.
Challenge.
Yep.
Let's move.
It's really good. It could not be done without her. That's for sure.
Of course. That's
It-
awesome teamwork. And you guys are blessed to have each other,
Yes.
pushing each other along the way. And I know you guys are going to get it. So I'm really excited for you guys for this month. All right.
Thank you.
Elias, you with us there, pal?
Yeah, I had to unmute. I'm here.
All right. So how are you going to get to your 100,000 for the issue paid for the month?
It's funny, man. I remember I just had a chat with Albert, and I'm like, my goal was just like 40, 50,000 for the month. And then he's like, dude, go 100. I'm like, I don't want to, man. He's like, just do it. I'm like, all right. And then I heard Eunice is doing it and Sean's doing it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I want to say thanks to Eunice and Sean because it's kind of scary for sure. I mean, it's uncomfortable. I've never done that much and I've never really worked that hard, even in my old business. But I'm just going to double my workload. I've been running I've been running 6 to 8 appointments a day on my run days. Let's up that to 8 to 10 every run day. So that's instead of 15 a week, let's up it to 40 a week. I'm sorry, instead of 15 every 30 a week, let's do 40 a week on the run days. And I mean, just the only thing I can say is get up earlier and dial a couple hours longer just to get all 20 appointments. I've never, when things started clicking for me was when I stopped worrying about the outcome and said, look, I'm just going to do 30 appointments a week, let the numbers fall into place. And lo and behold, they did. We got a couple small policies. We got some couple huge policies in there. And the average policy came out to be about 150, 200 bucks a month. So I just let the numbers do the thing. So same thing here. I'm just going to book myself about 40 appointments a week and just let the numbers work their magic and let the issue pays fall in where they're supposed to. With everything hitting next week, God willing, everything I should start the month off with about 15 to 25,000, I think. I don't know. So we'll use that momentum and just keep going. Buy leads. Travel trips are going to be huge. I did one travel trip and my mistake was I went to my own hometown where I have friends and family where I was like, okay, so I was like, all right, well, today wasn't that great, but hey, I got my buddy down the street, let's go have a beer, and that was a mistake because there was a level of comfort there. Whereas it was just driving an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Sacramento was more uncomfortable than me going 2,000 miles away home to my hometown because I didn't know anybody over there. So I didn't have time to mess around. And, so a travel trip to me is still a little bit of a new thing since I haven't really done a real one, I guess you could say. But I got to slot those into my schedule now and go where the leads are. Luckily, we have instant leads. I was listening, I think it was yesterday or 2 days podcast before, Andrew was saying he's like, we're at like 10% or 20% or something capacity on instant leads. And I'm in Sasha and Nicole's inbox like every other day. It's like, hey, turn it up. And it's funny, like they'll turn up the instant leads and I'll buy some and then I'll be like, okay, we turn up even more because there are other people buying them too. So I'm just going to go where the leads are, book the appointments, run them, and everything should fall into place. Like it's just a math equation. It's a numbers game. So I'm going to take the emotion out of the equation. I'm going to take the outcome out of it and just run business.
Yep.
That's my goal.
Just playing the numbers, right? Now, earlier you
said
numbers. Yeah, earlier you were saying when I told you what Eunice and Sean were going to do, and then you said you didn't want to do it. So do you first of all, let's back up. For 100,000 issue paid in a month here at Family First Life with the lead platform, everything else, do you believe it's doable?
It's 100% doable. Zach Trudowski did it. People have done it. I was at the Sacramento conference. Steve something, I don't remember his name, but real nice guy, older gentleman, 50 something, and he did it. And, edit this part out, but he wasn't the best speaker when he was up there. And I'm like, if he can do 100,000, why can't I? I mean, I get it. It's doable. It's a question of, do I want to do it? And hearing Eunice and Sean say, hey, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. I want to do it. And I was talking to Carlos the other day, like last week or so. We have so many agents on this team doing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 and under. And it's, like Eunice just said, it's called the law of the lid. Once someone breaks that lid, everyone else is going to say, hey, let's do it. It's doable. It's like 2 years ago, Dave Wisher was talking on one of the podcasts. He was talking, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like 20,000 a month was like, oh, you're killing it. Now it's like, dude, if you're not doing 20,000 a month, you're not in the business. It's like 40,000 is the new norm. And I see this like as leads, especially with the advent of instant internet leads, it's going to get so good where 50, 60, 70,000 is the new norm. Evan McGuffey did 70,000. What's another 30,000 on top of that? So as time goes on, I mean, the bar is going to be raised, and I want to make sure that Elite's going up. So if there's 3, 4, 5 leaders on this team that are doing 50, 60, 100,000 on the average, there's going to be the guys that are doing, 1 to 3, 4, 5,000 say, hey, you know what? I could do a little bit more too. And they'll become the 10,000 to 20,000 issue payers. And so it's like, as the leaders rise up, everyone else on the team gets lifted up with the leaders, you know? So that's kind of what, you know, Sean said he wants to step up and be a leader. I feel the same way. I want to step up and be one of the leaders on the team and inspire others to say, hey, if they did it, I can too. It's one thing to hear Zach Tradowski and these guys killing it over there, but it's another thing to hear, you know, Sean's killing it and Eunice killing it, and I know them, and I can pick up the phone and call them at any time. And now it's like people in my own circle of influence, and it's more real when you hear or see someone in your own circle of influence doing something that you previously thought was extraordinary, and now it's just ordinary because it's normal.
Right.
Mouthful, sorry.
Do you think that people are scared of the responsibility of hitting a new benchmark? Like, I think
Definitely.
a lot of nervousness comes with, oh, I'm
Dude, I'm
if
scared.
I hit
like,
it means I have a new standard for myself.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Like yo, I'm scared. Like Albert calls me. He's like, you know, let's put you on that $100,000 a month thing with Andrew Taylor, and you got to post it up on Facebook and tag Andrew Taylor and Sean Mike. And the first thing goes to my mind is like, well, dude, can I do it? And you know, I know for sure I can, but it's like, how do I put it? It's like, it's a mix of, do I want to and can I? Yeah. So is it scary? Sure. It's the fear of not only failure, like what if I miss it, but then also it's a fear of like, what if I hit it and now everybody holds me to that standard and now 20,000 is not good enough anymore and I have to be this overachiever. But it's like, I was talking to John one day, my first dial day, because I used to have a dial to making my phone calls. My first dial day, I did 8 hours, and I'm like, John, dude, I'm tired. He's like, well, good, man. Your dialing muscle is improving. And now it's like 8 hours. Like I look up the phone, but I'm like, oh, I've been on the phone for 3 hours already. I didn't even notice. You know, so I think once you hit that level and you just consistently maintain it, it just becomes a new norm, and it's like you're not rising to the occasion. That's just your standard set point now. But there is a little bit of fear in there for sure.
If I might,
Yeah, man, I think you all brought up a good point. But you know, by virtue of you guys just going through this process, and the more you guys do, I mean, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable initially because you're like, I'm setting this new standard now. People are going to expect this from me. But the thing is, you're going to level up and you're going to get stronger in the process. Just like if you work out every single day, like the thing is, you're going to be capable of handling it because you've gotten stronger in the process. It's not just like I'm going to chase it and I'm going to fall right back down to wherever I'm at. But you guys will get aside from making a lot of money and during this month, you guys will get a chance to really elevate just your normal baseline, and you guys will all benefit from this long term. Aside from the rest of the team.
yeah,
So you want to add,
share,
Eunice?
Albert.
Yep.
There is something that I wanted just to bring. So if I can share this, so before even it was open to everybody, when I saw the screenshot of Andrew, I texted Albert. I was like, "Hey Albert, give me a second," which is kind of funny. I sent him a text, and I told him, "Hey brother, give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull up the
Well,
text."
just while he's looking that up, just a little bit of backstory. Nina Damjanovic, Hall of Fame producer here at Family First Life, vice president of FFL Limitless. She, you know, that was a challenge that was thrown out to her by Andrew Taylor, and said if she writes 100,000, he bet her that she couldn't write 100,000. She was like, "Bring it." She's like, "Game on." So then they're gonna give her a $5,000 bonus. Grady Paulson's gonna match that. So then, like, as soon as like she posted that, then Eunice he reaches out to me, texts me, he's like, "Hey, so what's this bet? Like, how do I get in on this?"
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, what would happen if I pulled up 100K before Nina?"
Right.
Mm.
He's like, "What if I get there before?"
There is
I
this
like that.
laugh.
I
There is like,
that.
all right, let's do it, right? And after I posted in Facebook, and I want to give a shout out to John as well. You know, he was with me because John was with me in the phone for like an hour and a half, literally mastering how we're gonna do it. And I had it all wrong. I was thinking that starting April, and I was still in the car business mentality, like, oh, okay, I need just 3,000 AP, and then everything gonna. But literally, John helped me a lot to basically figure out exactly how everything worked out. And then John was like, "Well, do you realize you are 5 days late?" And literally, I felt my heart drop. It's like, oh, she's beating me, right? So that night I didn't sleep, and that's when I knew I'm gonna hit it. I knew I'm gonna hit it because you can't. It's just not gonna happen. All what it's gonna require is work, you know. And and we're gonna do it. And I believe that all of us gonna do it. Why? Because we got the great leadership. We got great people behind us that they're pushing. You know, everybody is just in our side, and it's just gonna require to get an airplane and travel. Let's go to Alaska. Who cares? Because I can promise you, if we're gonna hit $100,000 before Nina, your name is automatically on the raffle of the greatest. Period.
Yep.
That's it.
I mean-
and then you set up the tone for everybody else, and everybody gonna be like, okay, Eunice, Curtis, and Elias did it. Let's all of us do it. Oh, and you're gonna have a month where 30 people are gonna issue $100,000 a month. Man, that would be so cool. Man, that would be so great that every single person just issuing 100,000. And like Elia said, is it scary? Well, I'm not really scared of failing, but I'm just scared of not hitting it before Nina. I'm gonna hit it. I'm literally gonna hit it. It's just I'm so scared that Nina gonna hit it before me, and I'm gonna let everybody down in the elite family. Like, if I'm gonna stop at 70, is it gonna be bad? No, I never made 70,000 in 30 days. I never thought that $34,000 is available for 30 days.
Right.
But I did it, and I was not even working. But I do really agree with Albert and everybody on the call that it's just going to require a lot of work, which is fine. It's going to require following, the system, keep hammering the phone, being in between appointments, make phone calls as well. I think the advantage I do believe that I have over Elias and Curtis, I don't know for a fact, but we are two. So we don't have no excuse. Like, we don't.
Right.
Like, we have to. Well, we got to do it.
Yep, you guys are going to do it. I'm very confident in you, and obviously you guys are doing this for yourselves and doing it for because you guys take pride in this, and you guys are going to get that 100,000, everything else that comes with it. But to go after Nina, that's pretty cool. I mean, you got to have that competition, and I love that competitive spirit. And she's a beast.
Mhm.
She legitimately is a beast. So then anytime that you can even stay in that level, stay in that zone, if you can beat her, I mean that'd be awesome. And then Sean Curtis, you on?
Hey, Albert.
Oh,
I want to
what's up,
say
Elias?
one thing real quick, and then I'll mute
Please.
out and let you get back to the floor because I know this is her spotlight.
No, it's-
Dude, I fell in love with the Elite family, and I feel like our Elite brand is not up there with the other brands like it should be. So I think it's high time that some of the leaders on this team really stepped up and took that position, whether it's scary or not, and just brought the Elite family up to where it's supposed to be, right next to all the other big teams, the USAs and the West Coasts and the nations and all that stuff, So that's kind of, I mean, making 100 grand, dude, that's awesome. Who wouldn't want to make that? I mean, like Gina said, even if you fall short, shoot for the stars, land on the moon, fine, hit 70,000, that's awesome. But the money's great. I'm not going to say no, and I'll take the 10 I'll take the 5 from you and from Andrew for sure. But I think just seeing Elite where I believe it should be is the bigger motivator for me anyway. And I really hope more leaders step up on this team and really bring this team to where it's supposed to be. So thanks for your leadership. Thanks for John. I mean, John knows I eat his brain out, man. Every day I'm on the phone with that guy, bugging the hell out of him. So he's never said, don't call me. So I appreciate it. So, and same with you. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that sentiment. I appreciate all the 4 of you guys on this call. I'm tremendously blessed to have this group of people that just a lot of good people, and we have culture that's just really amazing. Everyone just wants each other to win, wants to help one another out. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we got to have more people step up. We got to have more people making more money and just continue to lead the way. And appreciate you guys stepping up to the plate and going after this thing and just knocking out that 100,000 that you paid for the month. I think Sean got disconnected from us, but that's also the cool thing. The 4 guys here, I mean, Eunice, Elias, and Sean probably called me the most out of everybody on the team. and the thing is, I don't know. I'm clearly not I'm not the secret sauce or anything. It's just for all of you guys who are out here watching, you don't need to know every single thing about the business. Like they're not out there because they're the most knowledgeable salespeople because they have the most product knowledge, or they know the most about the carriers, know most about the process. Things they just go out there and work. They just go out there and just have they go out and figure it out. They go out there just with this humility about them, and they just recognize they just want to go out and serve people. And like the things, the thing I picked up when I spoke to all four of you guys here, no one talked about how much money they're going to make. Like no one's thinking about like, I'm going to do this so I can make a ton of money. They're they're doing it for the pride of the team, the contest, but they also recognize how much they're going to help a lot of families out there along the way, and how it's going to help the rest of the team as a point of identification to see how much everyone can just legitimately go out and do. So, I really appreciate all you guys, and thank you guys for your guys' input, and looking forward to paying out those bonuses. All right. So I appreciate you guys. All right. So
No, I'm just
we had a little bit of a detour there, but we got Flor Gomez, and looking forward to hearing from you a little bit. So how long have you been with us now, Flor?
I've been actively running part-time since the beginning of the year.
In January.
Yes.
Okay. And how's your experience been so far?
I love it. It doesn't, I don't think I was ever cut out for a 9-to-5 job. I've always just not the imagination, but just want to do more. And when you feel like you're capped out on your tasks or 9-to-5, and I can't.
Have you had 9-to-5 jobs?
Yeah. I was a temp for a long time.
Okay.
So I would, work in and out of hospitals and call centers for doctors' offices. And it was always something that never satisfied me. And I knew, and my dad would always, I'm very blessed, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are not in the same situation as I am, but I have a lot of support from my dad.
Great.
So he has heard all my crazy ideas, all my inventions.
What's one of the craziest ones?
That I wanted to start a logistics company, because I was like,
Gotcha.
Dad, and I said that sat my dad down. I'm like, everything in this room has been transported from somewhere. This business is, I don't know what. And he gets excited, I have a lot of fire and a lot of drive, and it's hard to find something that fulfills that. And I found it here.
So what did you want to do before? Because obviously I didn't think like, hey, I'm going to get into insurance, or I'm going to get into financial services. Like, what did you want to do before?
I knew that I wanted to be in the entrepreneurship. I knew I wanted to be in my own business owner, to be honest with you. I went to a convention, a week-long convention in 2018, and there was a life insurance agent there, and she planted the seed, because you're networking, and she had said something about how she made like 8,000 in the last 2 days, and she showed us, and I was like, no way. And I looked it up, and I didn't act on it right away. I regret that I didn't, but I don't, because I landed here,
right.
But it's once I heard how the business is and how easy it is, and the will to want to do that, then it's natural. It comes natural.
Right. You got the personality for it. So when did you get into insurance?
Last year in February.
And you were at another company without naming the company name?
Yes, practice company.
Okay. How's that experience there versus?
It was horrible. It was horrible. And I did not, something that I'm very proud of myself for is not allowing that experience taint my view on being a life insurance agent. It was very my way or the highway. Don't ask questions. How dare you question me? Very cult-like-ish.
Right.
I know I don't want to speak too much on it, but if anybody's ever came from a third party or whatever practice company, they relate to that.
Right.
But it was something that I knew what I wanted. I knew that I couldn't put myself in a box, and that's what they were trying to do. And we are very blessed with the commission that we make here.
Absolutely.
The comp that we make, and other companies don't have that. So it's very fight your way to the top, prove yourself. When here, you just have to get up and go to work.
Right. Well, speaking of the comp, we didn't get a chance to go into our guys here that are going to issue pay over 100,000 for the month. If your comp is over 100%, like how do we get paid out here? Do you know how to break it down?
Yes. So for each annual premium, you get paid 75% advance. So just depends on what the carrier pays. We get paid directly through the carrier. So that's big. Not other companies are not like that. So you know who's paying you. There's nobody taking your check, and doing what they want and then paying you pennies after.
Right.
So yeah, you get paid within, 24 to 48 hours.
Right.
Some other companies, you get used to that. So when you do wait a little longer, you're just like, what's happening? But it's like other people wait 2 weeks to get paid.
Yep.
So we get very,
Yeah. At
fortunate
my
for that.
old company, they used to pay weekly. So you run your business for the week, you submit everything on a Monday,
Yeah.
and then you have to see what clears and what pays out that following Friday. And you got to check the report on Thursday. And it's like a lot. It's a lot of like guessing like what loads and what doesn't load.
Mhm.
Whereas here, I mean, we're very fortunate. So just to break it down, I mean, like an average size sale is about $1,000 a month or $1,000 of annual premium, right?
Mhm.
So like $83 a month is what the client's paying. Times it by 12 months, that gives you about $1,000, and then you get a 70. And if you're 100% comp, we'll just use that example, which everyone here has at least that.
Mhm.
You have 100% comp, you get $1,000 and you get 75% advance to you up front.
Mhm.
So you get paid in 2 or 3 days, or one to 3 days typically. So you get $750 paid for just an average size sale.
Yeah.
And then the remaining 25% gets paid on months 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What's funny about that?
what's that?
Me and my business partner, Claudia, we, we're very interactive with each other when we're out on the field. And it's funny because, we'll be like, oh, what did you sell? And we're like, oh, it was a baby app, but it's something. But we're so used to here, like the average comp that the commission that you're making is $1,000, give or take,
Right.
So when you're like, oh yeah, it was like $500-$600, and you're thinking that as a baby policy, it's
Right.
like other people get paid that in a week, and you're getting paid that in an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We're
excited.
definitely blessed.
We're so blessed.
So when these guys issue pay 100,000 for the month, just imagine what their paycheck's going to be, what their total income is going to be like. That's going to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And just think about how many people you can help with that. Yeah. So, so you went to National Convention in February. We went to the one in Phoenix.
Loved it. Yeah.
What'd you get out of it?
There was just so much motivation. I felt like when you hear something enough times over and over and over again, people may think like, oh, they're just saying the same thing. But no, it's for a reason that people have their own experience, their own background, but are doing the exact same thing and getting the results that you're getting, And so I started to look at that, and it's literally just plugging into the system, believing that you can do it, not doubting yourself, going out there, don't second guess things, and, getting it done. It's not that, big of a deal,
Right.
It's a big of a deal that we get to help people. That's the big of a deal, but yeah, I mean, it was just, it clicked because you do come from a practice company and you doubt things, and, but it clicked, and I started, utilizing my social media more, creating more content, getting out there, getting focused,
So you went to trainings at your practice company.
Yes.
Okay.
Twice a week for
Okay.
hours.
and I mean, I guess you kind of alluded to, but yeah, not some of the trainings at these other places, not very transparent.
No, because you were just pretty much something that that I really appreciate from people is their character. At that company, you get to know them very well of how their success is, but nobody's sitting there and giving you the training on a product, how to utilize that product, who to sell that product to. There is no product knowledge. So you're just, essentially, glorifying these people for the same people over and over again of their success, but you're not stopping and thinking about your own. And it just got to the point where I'm like, okay, something's not clicking. I don't know how to even write a policy right.
Right.
And it's like, it just got to the point where I was like, I tried to have a conversation, brought my concerns, and wasn't reciprocated. So I made the decision.
Right.
And
yeah, the transparency here is awesome, because
I love it.
Because when you went to the trainings, like even with the sales conference here that we had, and then the national convention, like was there any bit of it where you're like, no, that's not true, like we can't actually do that?
No.
Like everything you're like, yeah, that's legit, like
it's legit. It really is, because everybody, they're 20 years old, they're 50 years old, they're 60 years old. There's no discrimination in the business. And when it comes down to, even the team that is going to produce 100K, like it's so possible. It's funny because in other situations or other businesses, you're like, that's impossible. No, I believe it. They're talking about that they're going to do it. And I believe it, because when it comes down to leads, you never know what's going to hit. You never know if you're being transparent with your client and you're sitting there and they're trusting you, and then they start disclosing things that are going to help them essentially, but you can help them. And yeah, they trust you, you build that trust, and you just get it done.
Yeah. No, I believe they can do it. I believe anyone else
Yeah.
can do it if they want to do it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the thing I think Elias kind of talked about, it's like it's not that it's not doable. It's just that you don't know if you want to do it, because it's going to be a sacrifice for sure.
Yeah.
You got to sacrifice time. You got to sacrifice things that you normally are comfortable with, because that's what got you in that place in the first place.
Yeah.
But if you want to level up to get to do something different, then you also have to do different things.
And it's short term. You do that enough times, in a short amount of time, you get an offer for an integrity deal, and you still conduct business, but it's a short sacrifice compared to people that are slaving away for years and years and get a little pension at the end. Like this is nothing.
Right. And I just love how everyone's so humble about it too, because
Yes.
no one's like, oh, I'm gonna do it because I'm such a great salesperson,
Yeah, no.
or I'm gonna do it because of my good looks or whatever. Everyone's just like, I'm just gonna get more leads. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna go do things I haven't done before. I'm gonna travel though I need to.
Mhm.
And that like, it's such a methodical, well laid out plan that anyone, if they wanted to, they can do it.
Mhm.
So, but the thing is, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna require a lot of commitment and time. So, for all of you guys
Consistency.
undergoing this, yes, I'm super proud of you guys, just taking on the challenge. But so what's been your best week here?
My best week was a little under 10,000.
Under 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was me literally just getting up and going to work, not overthinking it, visiting old clients, following up on people that have said no to me. If I'm have appointments and I'm getting no-showed, then you have to fill that time. You can easily just go home and say, I sold whatever yesterday, or I sold something today. I could just go home. I got no-showed. But, like I think it was on Tuesday, I went to one of my past clients, and just to stop by because I got no-showed, and I was far, I'm from Orange County. So being deep in LA, I'm like, I got to do something. I stopped by and I said hi to her, and
just to say hi, like you didn't have anything planned?
No, I mean, of course, I just, not with like that, like intentions,
no,
but like, I showed up and saw how she was doing. And she said, oh, I was thinking about you. It's so crazy that you're here. I want to do a policy for my husband, because the first time that I was there, her husband was like a little standoffish and whatnot. But yeah, I showed up, did a policy, went home very happy because I was able to help her. And it was exciting to know that she was excited to see me.
Right.
And that's exciting to start building these relationships, because they're not just a transaction, they're your clients.
Right.
And if you want to keep them on the books, not for your sake, but theirs, you do acknowledge them. You never know what's going on with them. Send them a birthday card, send them a Christmas, have Merry Christmas, or, little things like that go a long way, that they're going to, acknowledge and respect you as their life insurance agent.
Right. Yeah. And I think I could totally see that, because, you were in here joking with Yoel and I saying you were nervous earlier, but I'm like,
I'm on the Maury show.
But I've like the few times that we've got a chance to speak, like you've always just been so comfortable. And I think that translates with your clients when you go out there, and, if you can just stop by and be like, hey, I'm in the area. I just wanted to come by and say hi. And then she trusted you enough to be like, let's get my husband a policy now. It's like, you've obviously done a good job, and
you just have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. You have to be able to understand that the work that you're doing, you're going home and you're servicing the community and doing something positive. And, all it takes, like when you know more, you hop more on the trainings and you start to develop more experience on the field, and you know that you're just a good person and you're doing this because you want to help, then the clients see that. If you go in there and you're just wanting to treat it as a transaction, they feel it too.
Right.
So
yeah, I think that's the coolest thing about what we do. It's just that it doesn't have to be I'm going to make a sale at my client's expense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's a win-win situation every single time, because behind the leads that we purchase, behind the leads that are readily available here at Family First Life with the well-developed platform, with the abundance of leads that we have in basically everywhere and anywhere you want to go. The thing is, behind all these leads, there's actually people. There's actually people that deal with everyday stuff. They got feelings. They They have good days, they have bad days.
Mhm.
These people have families that they can protect, and the reason why you're going out and seeing them in the first place. So
Yeah.
as long as we don't lose that perspective, because with everything that we get wrapped up in, we're just thinking like transaction.
Mhm.
I got to hit my numbers or whatever it may be. But with each single person that we sit in front of, like we're making a huge impact with them.
Mhm.
And whether we go all the way through and we do our best and we can help them, someone we can, someone we
Mhm.
can't, and you just
And
got
that's
to live with
okay.
it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I learned about is not being emotional. Like,
Are you an emotional person?
I can be.
Can
Yeah.
be. So that's a yes.
Yes, I'm emotional. Right here. I just no, it's just the fact that you're in the business of working with other people, so yeah, I mean, people are gonna hang up on you. People are going to say no. People are gonna no show you. People are gonna waste your time. And you're gonna know that they're, just doing it for whatever X, Y, and Z reason that is not so good, but you just gotta keep it moving because every no is leading to that yes, and yes, so I have, my dial days where they're hanging up on me and in the middle of a sentence they hang up and I'm like, oh, like let me call you back. But no, you can't. You just gotta keep it moving.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
so
so
did
funny,
it
though.
used to bother you when people hang up on you, or
No,
it never
it's just
bothered you?
the only pet peeve is when they hang up mid-sentence, it's like a nice no thank you would be nice, but that's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen. And that's where you just gotta understand it's just not gonna happen. It's you just gotta keep it moving, and you get no showed, that's fine. Go to the next, go to their neighbor's house. You never know if they're staring at you like, who's that person? Go to the neighbor's house, leave your cards, get door hangers. You just never know what's gonna hit. I left my card once, and that person no showed me, and I left my card because it was at their job.
Mhm.
They gave my card to somebody else. That other person called me, and I walked out of that home with a little under, I think it was like 4,800 AP.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, you just never know. You always have to keep a positive attitude because if they're saying no to you, you never know who's watching,
Right.
or who's just, your character, what it can, produce after just being positive.
And sometimes they say no to test you too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people hang up on you or they tell you they're not interested, it's because they didn't understand what you're talking about in the
Yeah.
first place. So the thing is, you just got to
Door knock.
yeah. Well, no, that's definitely, you got to
Yeah.
get to the point. Don't beat around the bush. And then if they don't understand you and they hang up, normally I would just call them back.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm sorry, I think we got
disconnected. I do that. And they're like, no, I hung up on you. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And then I hung up on that. Just kidding.
No, but then then you can stop by, because the thing is, when they see you in person, everyone's a gangster.
It's harder
on the phone,
to say
right?
no to you in person than
Right.
it is over the phone. So
Right.
I show up I love door knocking. I came from door knocking. I did sales for Spectrum, and
Right.
I door knocked. So that's something that does come naturally for me. So I'll just show up and, whatever script I use, I kind of like just analyze the situation, and I'll say that I was dispatched from the request I was sent to my office. I was in the neighborhood, just whatever the case is,
Right. But you made a point earlier, is you never know who's watching at any time. So whether you're walking up to a client's house or whether you're going seeing a client that's working, you're leaving a card,
Mhm.
If you had that negative energy about you and you just had
Yeah.
like this
Oh yeah. You can have the best product in the world, and
Yeah.
if they don't like you, they're not gonna get it.
Yeah. But they called you back, someone else
Mhm.
got it from you because they felt this
Mhm.
energy from you, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So-
I mean, I love what I do. I really believe in it. I really do, Um, like you see so many GoFundMe's, and in the Latino community we do something called kermeses, which is like you do a cookout and people come and buy the food, and it's just not fair for the people that are mourning.
Right.
If it's something that you're able to just explain to them and paint them the picture, not in a way where you're scaring them. Like, it's funny because I don't know who said it, but I think it was Trey Honeycutt. I don't know who was it that posted it, that we were like mobsters, like you know what
I
I'm
think I
talking
saw
about.
that, yeah.
They're like, nice family there. I wonder what you would do if something happened to them. But no, I mean, it's just I love it. It's, you get to that point where, and you can see when it clicks to them,
Mhm.
and then you ask, if you conduct the introduction and everything properly, when you get to the application, you're just filling it out. You're not sitting there and rerunning like another 20-30 minutes. You've talked to them enough for you to know what is on the application.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and we just got to not beat around the bush.
Yeah, not beat around the bush.
Sometimes people already know they need it because they've already thought about it. But sometimes people just aren't taking it that seriously, and it's our job to just be very direct with them and just be like,
And we're
just-
licensed to do that. We're
Yeah.
licensed to be honest. That's what we have a license for.
Right.
You know, so
okay. So what's your goal for this month?
40,000.
40,000.
I made all my little calculations. I scribbled as much as I could, and just I really feel like I can do it. I lost my momentum for a little bit. I
How
got
so?
comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, I got comfortable. You know, this is the thing. You're making 10, 12, 13,000 and you know, which is not heard of anywhere else this easily.
Mhm.
You get comfortable, you know, and then to pick that momentum back up, it's something that you really have to work for. And then once you have it, once you're there, don't lose it, you know, don't lose it, because again, it's just you have to pick back up, and it gets heavier, you know.
So when you lost that intensity after you made your
Mhm.
15,000 or so, did
Mhm.
you just take time off, or did you just like work, but just kind of work partially?
Just kind of, I mean, you got comfortable. You know, I
Did you
started
go on
dabbling.
vacation or anything, or did you go and
Well,
buy a bunch of
I
stuff?
did do the travel trip to Sacramento
Okay.
out of my best friend's house, which is
Okay.
not the
Okay.
most cleverest place to go
Okay.
in Sacramento, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was just because I'm like, oh, well, I already, you know, I can do it. If I can do it, I can do it again. But no, you can't think like that, you know, because then you really have to start from scratch all over again. And
Mhm.
once I did, in the last 2 weeks, I've, you know, I wrote a little under 15,000. So, I mean, I know I can do it. You
Absolutely.
know, it's just the consistency. You know, the more you're out on the field, the more experience you're getting, the more knowledge you're getting, the more questions you're getting asked. So, you know, you get to the point where you go in and you kill it, you know, and if they don't get it, then that's fine. They're saying, just remember, they're not saying no to you. They're saying no to their families. They're saying no to themselves, you know?
Right.
So, at that point you can do the best you can, but they're going to say no to themselves and their family. And I'll say that sometimes, like, look, it's no hard, like when they're really being like, you know, kind of tough on you, I'm like, you know what, sir, it's fine. You know, at the end of the day, this is for your family. It's not for me. I'm just here to see how I can help you. But if you know, I walk out the door and something were to happen to you, then that's something that you have to explain to your family, or you're no longer here. That's something you have to think about, you know.
Right.
So you gotta really just be honest.
Right. So for you to issue the 40,000 for the month,
Mhm.
how many leads do you need to get? So for a new agent out there watching, is thinking like 40,000 sounds like a lot. What do they need to do? Like, what do you need to do?
The standard 30 to 40 appointments a week.
Okay.
You know, if you're getting no showed, figure it out. Go door knock their neighbors, go to your past no shows, call them up, what, you know, what it is that you can do. Like, we have all the same, like if you're looking at other people in Family First that are issuing more than 100,000, that are issuing 50, 60, 70, we all have the same 24 hours. So they're doing something extra that we're not doing. We're all doing the same thing, but they're doing extra.
Right.
You know, they're going back and calling their leads. Not that that's something, no, you keep it moving with your leads, you
Right.
know, but when you have time and you know, you have to fill that time, you have to do something productive, you know. And I feel like just by doing the 30 to 40 appointments a week, you know, door knocking, working, I don't have kids or anything like that, so I have the time to do it, you know. And there's people like Sacramento and Evelyn that are pastors and that have 3 kids
Right.
and can conduct that business. There's no excuses.
If they're doing all that,
If they're doing all that, there's no,
Like, what
Evelyn
is your
writes
excuse?
consistently 35 to 45,000 a month, so
Yep.
there's no excuses.
Hall of Fame producer,
Hall of Fame
running
producer.
a church, 3
Yeah,
kids,
exactly.
being married, all that stuff.
And all she's doing is duplicating herself in me and training and coaching me, and it's a lot easier than what we make ourselves think it is, you know. So
Well, if you're following her, you're in
I got
good
this,
hands.
man.
You're in good hands. Also, what you recently you actually shared with me something that you're working on with to help out some families out in
Uganda.
Uganda.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what made you decide to do that?
I do have a heart of, you know, I do love to give. I feel like if we're being blessed as much as we are, even if you're not, you know, you give back. There's no way that, I mean, once you get greedy with the business, and I've seen it, I was actually in a construction company doing home renovation sales, and I saw the owner get super greedy. What happened? He got sued, and that man's got the consequences that he did, because once you allow money to make that who you are, you know, that just makes you not the best looking person.
Right.
You know. But yeah, I'm very passionate to want to give back and to say, you know, thank you for contributing. You did contribute to that, so I really appreciate it. They appreciated it, and we were able to save a woman's life that was on the verge of dying. So things like that, you know, you give back after you've making so much, and you get blessed tenfold, 100-fold. God sees everything, you know. So it's just, it just makes, it's not only makes you feel good, but you know, it's just, you can change somebody else's life by giving back.
Absolutely. Well, I bring that up because it did feel good to
It did,
give,
yeah.
because, you know, you told me about that situation. I'm like, yeah, I would like to help. And all the things that we want to do, all the people that we want to help out there, you can't help if you can't help yourself.
Exactly.
So like part of the reason why we need to go out there and continue to put in the work and put in the time and invest in our business is not for us to get filthy rich. It's for us to position ourselves to be able to help others out.
Yeah. And you get that back.
We
You really
definitely
do.
get back. I mean,
Yeah.
I just gave it. I didn't even think about it because I'm just like, it's going to help this family. And,
Mhm.
you know, I just know karmically. I mean, I don't really believe in karma, by the way, but
No. I'm like, no.
I just think like if you do good things, it's going to come back to you in some form or another.
Not necessarily in the same exact way, but
Right.
it does come
Definitely.
back.
Yeah, I'm not
For
expecting
sure.
that lady's going to pay me back that amount of money, but you know, I just know like it's going to help someone out, and like also the more that we make, the more that we can give.
Mhm.
And then the things that we give, like, you know, the Dream Center had like they raised
Oh, that
money
was
this past.
beautiful.
Yeah,
That was so beautiful.
I just kept donating and donating,
Yeah.
donating, and I was like, wow, I can't even get presents for my nieces and nephews this Christmas, right? I gave to that point, but then like I started thinking like, how am I gonna pay my bills? How am I gonna pay for this and that? And I was thinking like, you know what? That's the beauty of Family First Life. You just give. Sometimes still it hurts, and then the thing is, you can go out there and work and make as much money as you need to
Yeah.
pay
And
for
you
everything.
can relate
Anyway.
to that when you are investing in your business. You know, you pour in, and don't ever buy leads doubting it, because
Right.
you're already setting yourself up. You know, if you're going to invest, say this is going to, you know, I'm going to get my return back. I'm going to help a lot of families, going in with a positive mindset and being able to say, you know, I'm spending X amount, but I know that if I work hard, I'm going to get it back times 10, because that's what it is. It's numbers don't lie. One thing about it is just numbers don't lie. So yeah, I mean, you have to really have the faith and the works to back it up to get it done.
Spoken like a true vet. All right. So
when you ask.
any last bit of advice for any new agents out there that are out there watching? And
Yes. Don't give up. You know, I know that the first couple of months is something that you do doubt yourself, and then you start seeing other people's success, and it kind of like, well, I want to get there. How do I get there? What are they doing? But it's no secret. It's, you see people that have all the talent in the world and they can talk about it, but they're not doing nothing with it. And it's the people that are gonna just say, I'm gonna do it, that get it done. You know, so just do it. Don't overthink it, and don't doubt yourself. Listen to the people that are, you know, hop on the trainings, the people that are getting it done. They're saying the same thing in their own context, and it's not a waste of time. You know,
Right.
It's gonna benefit your business, and you're gonna duplicate yourself into other people, and it pays off. It's exciting. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's never the same day over and over again.
well, that's great advice. And I know it's generally coming from you, but it's just funny how it echoes the same sentiment as what Zach and Evelyn talk
Mhm.
about. You know, it's a lot of the same things what I talk about, what Family First Life talks about. Everyone, because we all independently arrive at these same conclusions,
Mhm.
but you know, success is always the same. You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
You got to put in the time. You got to invest in your business. You got to invest in your people.
Mhm.
And if we just continue to do this, we're all just going to continue to grow. And you know, don't worry about perfection. Just focus on progress.
Mhm.
And so, you guys, really appreciate you coming on and sharing with us today. You know,
Thank you.
had a good time.
Thank you
And,
guys for having me.
For Eunice, Elias, and Sean, you know, I'm really proud of you guys and Marilyn. Sorry, didn't mean to forget you there.
Mhm.
But really proud of you guys undertaking this challenge to get the 100,000 issue paid for the month. You guys can help a lot of people along the way. And for everyone else that's on here today, just wanted to thank you guys for getting on, and looking forward to making this a great weekend and making it a great week. So let's make it a productive week, guys. Thanks for joining us.